Hello everyone. It cost the guys just a minute of their time, but they probably made the dream of this old woman come true, and she'll definitely remember this day with fondness. Actually, doing good things is incredibly easy. See for yourself.
I think you just saved my life.
These guys from the Carmichael's soccer team are getting ready to shave their heads, but it's not some kind of sports ritual. It's all about this guy. 4th grader Braden Wasco lost his hair during his fight with bone cancer and was very insecure about it. The coach pitted the idea to his players, and all 40 guys agreed to shave their heads without hesitation. Well, you can imagine Braden's reaction.
Really? Like, they're gonna do it all for me. It's just amazing.
By the way, Asheville Bulldogs did the same thing, and they didn't regret it a bit. We won't say anything to avoid bursting into tears again, just know that this woman decided to become a kidney donor for the father of her daughter-in-law. Why would 3 grown men dress up as Batman, Spider-Man and Captain America? Well, these guys are window cleaners, but today they have a special mission. Every 6 months, they descend from the roof of a children's hospital in Chicago to make little patients happy. They do it in their free time for no extra pay, just for the sake of making kids smile. Turns out these guys are real superheroes.
There we go. Oh my gosh! Give a high five. I want to see it. I'm not. Here's his birthday.
Usually no one pays much attention to the guys who collect garbage, but this little guy really appreciates their work. Grandma even made him the same costume, and of course the guys could not help but notice such a sweet helper.
Bom dia!
E aí, joga lá pra nós, Alain. Vou lá por nós. Vamos lá, tia.
Vai lá?
Joga lá, vem cá.
Pode ir?
Pode ir. Vem. Joga lá no caminhão, joga forte. Joga. Vai, joga. Pega essa aí. Enchendo a mão, mais que eu não vai. Vamos lá, joga lá, vai lá.
Ei! Vem cá pra você tirar a foto, vem! Aí!
Not only did the driver of this scooter have a rough landing, all of his cargo could get squashed under the car wheels, but there are many more good people around than we think. We'll explain what's going on here. This guy was in a hurry to a homecoming event and suddenly realized he didn't know how to tie a tie. He was raised without a father. Together with his mum, they drove to a friend's house to ask for help and were stopped for speeding. But instead of issuing a fine or a warning, the officer did what you see on the screen.
It's not every day you have a police officer tying your tie for homecoming, Jake.
I know, I appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome. Am I allowed to give you a hug?
Sure.
If you cried only once in your life when you watched The Lion King, now you'll cry for the second time, because this guy was not just going to buy a bouquet from this lady. Speaking of The Lion King, the dude decided to use the projector to entertain the kids of the other drivers stuck in traffic. Can you imagine how comfortable they were? This guy was walking along the side of the road dragging a bike with a flat tire, and probably thought that now he would never deliver the order on time. But he was lucky to meet a guy who knows what helping out is. Yeah, the dude just borrowed his scooter without even asking the stranger for the phone number. And 15 minutes later, he got it back, along with 1,000 points to his karma, of course. We are now watching the last seconds of the main game of the season. The batter failed to hit the ball, and the entire winning team runs to celebrate. Everyone except for the pitcher. He realised who would need more support at that moment.
Let me get this for you. Is that okay? Can I get it for you? Not as good.
Yep, your eyes are not deceiving you. A stranger in St. George's supermarket suddenly appeared in front of the checkout and paid for the purchases of random customers. The girl didn't give her name and didn't tell anyone why she was doing it, but should there be any reason for such actions? Here is 7-year-old Adriana, who was bullied by her classmates. Aware of her love for bikes, the girl's mother asked local bikers to somehow support her daughter. Who knows, maybe they'd agree to give her a ride. And you know what the tough guys in the leather jackets called the Punishers did? They arrived together, gave the kid a biker vest, and drove her to school on a bike.
Ready? I'm gonna pick you up. 1, 2, 3.
They even became friends with Adriana. Well, after that, the bullies suddenly went all quiet. The work of traffic controllers is not easy. They have to be at the post both in the pouring rain and under the scorching sun. But who will take care of them? As you can see, there's at least one caring citizen, although the guy himself modestly admitted that it was his children who gave him the idea. This athlete, who's now holding the ball, is 89 years old. Imagine that. Once, Brian Sperry used to play for the University of Kansas, then survived all the horrors of the war, and then continued to play again and coach school children for several decades. Well, how could the guys not let him make a touchdown during an alumni game? This is what true love and care really means, not what they show us in the movies. Sometimes just a little kindness is enough to help someone. And here we can see not only a good deed, it's certainly the beginning of a great friendship. Even if this man only pretends to be blind in order to check the reaction of passers-by, the kid didn't know about it, so his attempt to help looks even more touching. This guy can make it through such a flood without a problem, but being good means thinking not only about yourself. Well, we told you being good is easy. Sometimes you only need a glass of water. Unfortunately, that scooter guy didn't have a chance to build a brick path in this alley, but the cop would not have let Grandpa get his feet wet anyway. You don't have to worry about this woman and her child either. Superheroes always appear unexpectedly. Now you can see Gerard strong on his way to fulfill his dreams. The guy was born with cerebral palsy, but he always wanted to take part in a real basketball game. When his school coach found out about this, he and his team didn't hesitate to give Gerard such an opportunity. He was invited to the court to start the game with an accurate throw, for which he trained hard all of his free time.
And shoots. And makes it. A victory.
Wait a second, how did the guys from the dark side end up in our video? Ah, they are from the 501st Legion. That makes everything clear. This is the name of the worldwide organization of Star Wars cosplayers, whose members are actively involved in charity work and regularly visit children's hospitals. Well, it's easy to explain their choice of costumes. Check out how delighted the kids are to see stormtroopers and Darth Vader.
Hey, you're awesome. Can I get a fist pump? Yeah. That was probably the best fist pump I've ever got.
Don't rush to write in the comments which video is the most touching until you've seen this little helper. This has already become a good tradition. Every time workers come to this house to collect garbage, they find a refrigerator with clean water nearby. Actually, saving someone from thirst is a universal way to improve your karma. We have found perhaps one of the friendliest towns in the world. At night, a hurricane raged here, and here we can see the consequences. Someone's property was littered with trees or half ruined, and some households were spared. But despite this, all the neighbors united to help each other and put the streets in order. Actually, we wouldn't mind moving to this neighborhood. You can wait until the rain stops while standing, but the owner of this cafe is happy to give people a little joy. If we delve deeper into the SCP Foundation archives, we'll find protocols no one has seen before. These are stories of people who were unfortunate enough to encounter the most anomalous SCP objects, eerie creatures in dreadful places. Few remained alive to tell the tale, but these chronicles will reveal what you definitely did not know about these objects.